Well, hey, everybody, and welcome back to the One More Thought podcast. My name is Heath, and I get the honor and privilege of hosting the podcast. This podcast just came from us wanting to go a little bit deeper from our Sunday messages here at Church on the Rock, and so we get the opportunity to do that. We get the opportunity to just have conversations about where we are, and today, I can actually say this when I cannot say it on any other podcast, that I am extremely attracted to our podcast guest. Physical attraction. That's right. Physical attraction. We are joined today by none other than my wife, Pastor Kelsey Watts. Pastor Kelsey, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
You look amazing.
I, too, am physically attracted to you.
Yeah, you are?
Yes.
Man, that's so good. I'm so excited. So
over there looking like a snack.
I'm looking like a snack? That's what I told you I was going to say about you and that strawberry shirt, and you took it from me. And so, but
Sorry.
I had another one in my head, but I'm not going to say it because it wouldn't be appropriate. So,
thank you.
Well, hey, we're so glad you're here. I'm so glad I'm here. Today's a normal podcast, but we're going to be talking about parenting. It's something that we're both passionate about. It's something that I feel like we're in a new season. I feel like we could talk a lot about how to parent young kids, but our kids are getting older and we're trying to figure it out. And so today, what I want you to know, if you're watching this, is we 100% do not have this figured out. We are learning, right. But I do think there's some things we've learned from other parents and from watching our girls and our son grow. If you don't know, we have 4 kids. We have 3 daughters, Maddie, Peyton, Harper, and then a 10-year-old son. Maddie is in college, and that's new for us.
That's new.
Kelsey, what's been the best thing about her going to this new season of life in college, and what's been the hardest thing?
Man, what a question. I think the hardest thing, I'll start with that. Yeah. The hardest thing is just trying to figure out this new season. Like you said, we've parented young kids, and then I feel like we've parented teenagers pretty well. Yeah. And I don't think we have it all figured out, but we kind of have a rhythm figured out. Yeah. But we're really parenting an adult now. Yeah. And it's hard. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I'm having to live very open-handedly, I want her to make some decisions on her own.
That's so good.
And that's hard for me because I'm like, ooh, could I save her a little bit of pain or struggle or anything? You don't want your kids in any discomfort. But honestly, that's when she's going to learn the most. So that transition has probably been the hardest. Yeah. The best thing has also been the transition. Yeah. I really feel like she's transitioned from my daughter to, she's still my daughter, but she has become one of my very best friends. Yeah. And it is, it's a really sweet thing. Yeah. When your child actually wants to be around you, but then she gives me wisdom. Yeah. That, I would expect from a really close friend. Yeah. So that's great.
Such a great answer. I think, not even just wanting your child to make their own decisions, but even kind of Maddie's nature is, she was in our house for 18 years, and most of the time she was like, Dad, what do you think I should do here? Mom, what do you think I should do here? Even to the point where it's like, hey, can so-and-so come and spend the night tonight? And it's like, hey, you're 18. And so it's trying to, it's almost like trying to protect her while also releasing her. Release her, It's like you're trying to cover her. And maybe that's a better word, that we've moved into a season where we're more trying to provide a covering. Right. But also give her a lot of freedom in that covering. We've also got 3 kids at the house, and now Peyton has moved into the oldest, Harper's moved to the next row, and Will's moving up. And so it's just a unique dynamic. Yeah. I think it's been very good. I think Maddie's going to do great. I think we're trying to navigate it. And sometimes that's the best thing you can do, is just take it a day at a time, take it one season at a time, and not feel like you got to have all the answers. Yeah. I think, one of the things that we've talked about a lot, and I think it's been really good for Maddie, is Maddie, there for a season, was very concerned, am I making the right decision?
Right.
And I would just tell parents of young adults, in this season of their life, I don't know that it's about making the perfect decision. Like,
Right.
Maddie's going to a college out of town. I think if she would have gone to college in town, she would have been perfect. And I think sometimes we get caught up on this. I can't make a wrong decision. And the truth is you can. Like, we had a talk with Maddie, and she was like, what if this is not the right decision? And we were like, then you come back after semester, or you come back at the end. Like, this decision does not make or break you. And yet what I've seen in Maddie is she feels the weight that I feel like I'm making a decision that's going to make or break it. And so we're just constantly reminding her, hey, we're not going to let you fail.
Yeah.
We're not going to let you mess up.
No.
Like, if you make mistakes, you're going to be okay. And so, but it's been a journey. I've watched you two hang out, and it's crazy because I thought I was your best friend, but now to find out that she is, like, that's really
best friend. One of my best friends.
You said best friend. You said best friend. And so, so I've got a few things I want to talk about today when it comes to parenting. And I got to say that most of the things I'm talking about, I don't feel like I've done a great job in. I notice a lot of parents nowadays, and I'm just going to say it, we've said it for a long time, but it is running rampant right now, I think. They are much more concerned with being a friend and accepted by their kid rather than leading their home, because that's what they're called to do. They're called to lead the spiritual part of their home, the peace of their home, the joy of their home, and yet so many times chaos is in their lives, and they can't make the hard decision because they want to be liked by their kid. They want to be friends with their kids.
Right.
What would you say to a mom, to a dad that just, man, you just like, it's like, hey, you're not leading your home because you're more concerned with what they think about you than actually raising them up into all God has for them? Yeah.
I mean, it's an easy trap to fall into because at the end of the day, we all want to be liked.
Yeah.
You know, we're all people pleasers, you know, at the root.
Yeah.
But you've got to remind yourself that God entrusted you with these kids, you know, and they're your kids forever. But really, I've just shifted into that friend role with Maddie at 18.
Yeah.
And I'm still very much her mother. Like, there are some things that I'm like, that's a non-negotiable for our family. Like, that's a family trait that, you know, she's not asking to, but like, if she did ask on certain things, like, I would step in as the parent. But for our other three, it's still very much, no, this is how our family operates. And I mean, nobody likes to hear no, especially our 16-year-old.
Yeah.
But sometimes we still know what's better.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, her body's going to run on empty if we continue going at the pace she's going.
Yeah.
And she needs us to help navigate that.
Yeah.
So it's an easy trap to fall into.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's this easy thing that we've done really perfectly.
Yeah.
But usually we're pretty good at checking the other one.
Yeah.
You know, saying, should we have said yes to that? Or, you know, and
or
sadly, our younger kids, you know, we didn't do it right with the older one or two, and our younger two are like, we get away with nothing.
Yeah.
So, because I'm like, no, we learned that lesson a long time ago. So, or
if we have to tell them no, somebody at this group will say, go ask the other parent. That will remain nameless.
Well, of course.
It will remain
I think
nameless.
That is a two-way street,
I cannot
my friend.
stand it when they come to me and said, hey, Mom said I could do this, but I have to ask you first. And I'm like, well, man, I'm just going to be the bad guy and say no.
It's usually not that. It's like, go ask your dad what he thinks about that.
Yeah.
But they lead with, Mom already said yes.
And I
did
trump
not.
it and I say, you know what? Whatever Mom says.
Whatever
she says. And so it is a journey. I think, too, watching our kids, sometimes they can try to pin me and you against each other. I think it's a both and for me. Like with Will, I've talked with Will before, and it's like, hey, part of our relationship is understanding when we're bros, when we're wrestling, when we're playing, when we're doing this stuff, and when Dad needs to be Dad. and when dad needs to make a decision that you may or may not agree with.
Right.
And you know, I truly believe, and this may be frowned upon, I do not believe it's my job to raise happy kids. I think it's my job to raise kids who love God, who love their siblings, who love life, who enjoy life, who understand that not everything is going to be perfect,
right,
who overcome and have resilience. Like, I don't think it's my job for their happiness 100% of the time is not my job.
Right.
And man, it is our job to lead our family. Correct. And it's our job to form them into who God's called them to be. That means even removing some things that may be in them. I'll never forget this. I had a parent one time tell me their kid was just chaos, like causing problems every time that we were around them, like out of control. And they were like, well, we just don't want to parent the leader out of them. And I was like, okay, well, if they keep acting like that, nobody's going to want to follow them. So you need to do something. Like, there's some rebellion in that you just, what you're basically saying is, I don't want them to be upset with me. And we can't do that as parents. And so very important, non-negotiables. It's a great word to put in that. Yeah. The other thing I want to talk about, and this is the one that, man, I probably one of my biggest regrets as a parent. I remember when our kids were young. I want to talk. What I want to talk about is and I'm just going to use me so nobody gets their feelings hurt. I want to talk about my addiction to kids' athletics. It really is. I think it's an addiction. I think it is something that I struggle with probably more than anything. And the thing that really the Lord's been stirring in my heart, and I'm trying to talk really easy as a pastor, but I want to let you know that this is serious business. I think there have been times where I have said that God was the priority for our family, but my actions, my resources, my energy, and my time did not reflect that. I think there have been times where I've said God is the primary thing for our family, but my actions have not lined up with that because they could hit a volleyball or throw a baseball, or hit a tennis ball, or hit a golf ball, whatever it is. What would you say? You can pick on me. You can talk about me. Would you agree with that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm really proud of you for saying that. I think it shows a real sign of humility and a real sign of growth. Yeah. You know, I think we learned it with our older kids, and it's a super easy trap to fall into. Yeah. Because it's I don't know if it's the American or the West Texas way or whatever. Yeah. Like, your kids, this is just what they do, you know? And if you are not careful, you look up and it's hard. Like, your actions aren't showing that God would be your priority. Yeah. Because you play sports every single day of the week. Yeah. I mean, and we're guilty of it, you know? Oh, we're so guilty. So guilty. So I don't know if I have the answers. I think it's a problem we're still working through. Yeah. There's
a few things I really wrestle with. Really, I think I could use the word regret here. I think I regret this. I think, if I'm being honest, I think athletics was an easy way for me to connect with my kids. Yeah. Like, oh, I can connect with that. But sitting down like this and connecting was so hard. And I sit there when my kids were little, and I was like, we will never do the activities. We'll never do the travel stuff. We'll never do. And we did all of it. And I'm not here today saying that all of it is bad. Like, I think there's a lot of benefit. I think there's been a lot of good. A part of a team. I think there's been a lot of good in it. I think what I regret is connecting. This is going to sound so bad to say, but I'm just going to say it. Connecting how proud I am of you or how much I love you to how well you did in something.
Yeah.
And that has been the battle for me. That has been the thing that, man, I don't even know if my kids will ever hear this, but I am sitting here 18 years into this, multiple tournaments, multiple games, multiple suck the living life out of us for the last 18 years. And I can tell you that if I was to go back to 18 years ago or even 15 years ago when Maddie started playing little league soccer, my approach would be this. If you never hit another ball,
yeah,
if you never swing another club, if you never do any of this again, it will not change the way that I love you.
Yeah.
Like, you are so much more than this. And I've put so much emphasis on it. And it really is. It's a regret. It is a regret. I'll tell this last story, then I'll let you talk. I remember, this is going to sound crazy. Peyton, our 16-year-old, love her to death. She's got me wrapped around her finger.
Yes, she does.
And I'll never forget, she came in one day, and man, she was just beaming from ear to ear. And she said, Dad, I want to go to Guatemala. I'm going to Guatemala with my friends. I'm going to raise the money, which we know she's not going to. Let's be honest. I'm going to raise all the money. Yeah, I'm going to write a check for that. And I was angry. Like, I was mad. I was like, golly, more money, another. Like, I was just going through all the emotions. And I literally felt the Holy Spirit just nudge on my heart and say, man, you never had this reaction to play club volleyball.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to go to the nations. She wants to take Jesus to the orphanage and love on kids. And you didn't have this reaction for her to go learn how to hit a ball. And to me, I think that's the thing that I would say to any parent listening. I'm not saying that you cannot do those things. I am saying I think it gets really toxic when those things become the priority rather than leading your kids closer to God.
Right.
And I've talked a lot, but this is so on my heart right now. If practices are non-negotiables, but church is negotiable, your priorities are out of line.
Right.
If volleyball camp and baseball camp and basketball camp are non-negotiables, but we'll go to youth camp if we can, then I'm just telling you your priorities are out of line. And I'm not telling you that with any ounce of judgment. I'm telling you our priorities were out of line.
Yeah.
Man, I've messed this up. I don't think I've messed it up too far. I'm working on it. But it's every day the kids come in, the way I connect with them. How'd you play?
Yeah.
What was the score? What'd you do good? What'd you not do good? Not, hey, how's your heart?
Yeah.
Like, what's the Lord telling you? And so, sorry, I've talked a lot, but I've really been in a season of wrestling with this.
Yeah.
So what would you say about it?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're doing just that, is wrestling. And I don't think it's just sports. I think for other families, it may be other things.
Yeah.
It's just really checking the pulse of your family of what is the priority.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's bad that you've connected with our kids over those things.
Yeah.
But I do think, even though you may not see it, they know that you love them no matter what the score is.
Yeah.
You know, like, Maddie's done playing sports.
Yeah.
Like, she's done.
Yeah.
And she still knows you love her. She's not like out there trying to be like, oh, I could still swing at golf club if I wanted. Like, you're just her daddy now, you know? And so
I think it's maybe I'm just in this season of, like, I would just be honest and say the last couple months, it's been harder for me to connect with her since she's graduated.
You're not sure what to talk about.
I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well, I think
And
you
yet
said
I can
it. I
see
think
it
you
in
asked
her.
how her heart
like,
is.
yeah, I think I can see it in her, like her longing for this connection.
Yeah.
And I'm just learning how to do that. So
Yeah.
I think the last thing that I would say is this activity-based life that we live, it actually creates something that's the worst thing for your kids. It actually creates child-centered parenting. And just be honest, we've got 4 kids, so we've dealt with this. There have been seasons, there have been times where we have put our kids first. And just talk to everybody what you see the dangers of that being. Like when we just say yes to everything they have, what's the danger of that?
Well, if we say yes to everything, then we're obviously saying no to other things.
Yeah.
Whether that's us spending time together or one of us being at church on Sundays or our whole family unit being together. Like we divide and conquer weekly, and that's part of life. That is what it is. But it's just that remembering that phrase. If you say yes to some things, you're saying no to other things. So you've got to decide what your priorities are as a family and as a family unit. Yeah. And then stick to it as hard as it is. Yeah. Whatever that looks like, whatever your family can handle, because the danger of that comes a disconnect in the marriage, which is the first connection in that family. It comes with burnout from parents, kids, all the things.
And we have
the things you've
all.
Worked so hard for. Yeah. Our kids are going to burn out if we keep going at this. Yeah. We are going to burn out, It really comes with health. Yeah. I mean, it'll start affecting the health of your family, like the physical health, the emotional health, the spiritual health. So as the parents, it's your job.
It's your job.
To keep the check on that.
Yeah.
And so, and we have to do it every few months. We have to say, recheck, And once again, poor Maddie's the guinea pig, So I think we're just learning it with her for the first one. And so I think you're correcting it.
Yeah. Well, and I think if I could tell all you people listening today, first of all, thanks for being here. Like I said, we're just talking. We're growing and getting better. Man, God's blessed our family. We got great kids. I love them with all my heart. But if our primary job is to create and grow children who are hungry for the Lord, who have a personal relationship with the Lord, then there's a set of priorities that the Bible gives us. And I know you may say this isn't us, but it can get this way really quickly. The first thing is they need to know that you have a relationship with God. They need to know that before anything else, God comes first. Yeah. And you have to be the example of that. You have to show that. You have to live that. You can't just say that. If God is your priority and you haven't opened your Bible in 6 months, you haven't been to church in 3 months, no. Most people, their priorities are their kids' activities and then their own activities and then God. Like if we're just being honest. So they need to see that relationship with God. The second thing they need to know is that before my children, Kelsey is my second love. She is the one, and we were intentional about this. When I come home from work, man, we used to do this when they were little. They would try to hug me and come see me, and I'd push them away because mama's getting that first hug. They need to see us flirt. They need to see us have fun together. They need to see us laugh. They're probably going to see us fight a little bit. And when we do that, we need to ask for forgiveness. Yeah. But it needs to go relationship with God, relationship with spouse, and then children. And man, that is so hard for some people to hear. They just don't want to believe it. But I'm telling you, the healthiest thing that your kids can see is that model lived throughout the home. Yeah. And so, I agree. Any final thoughts for parents in this season of life? Teenagers, tweenagers, adults?
One thing I think God is really teaching me is to encourage your kids that they can hear the voice of God for their lives. And that's not saying anything Will hears we go with, you know. But I've seen that trickle down in each of our kids in this last year because I've been challenging them. I'm like, what do you hear God saying about that? For Maddie, it was school.
Yeah.
You know, for Peyton, it's some friendship things she's navigating.
Yeah.
Harper came to us with a real big life decision and said, I feel like I'm hearing God say this. And so I helped her pursue it more.
Yeah.
And then she felt like she got a clear answer. And
Yeah.
for Will, yesterday it was about a team.
Yeah.
This team is wanting him to join, going back to sports.
Yeah.
And I
some more
said,
activities.
I said, what do you think God
Yeah.
is leading you to do? And he said, I just don't think those are the type of kids I need to be around.
Yeah.
And that's the voice of God from our 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And I said, then I think you know your answer.
That's right.
And so I would just challenge you.
Yeah.
Start small. Start
Yeah.
on the small things, like so-and-so left me out. Okay, well, what do you think God's trying to teach you through
Yeah.
that? Like, point them back to Jesus.
Don't tell your dad they left you out. 'Cause
Don't
he'll
tell
get
your
really-
dad.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't leave my kids out of nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
But just encourage them. You can hear the voice of God for
Yeah.
yourself. And
Yeah.
then help guide them in that.
Yeah.
That's the best way for them
Yeah.
to learn and for you to just show them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's got the answers.
amazing time together.
Yeah. Thank you for
I
having
love
me.
you so much, as always.
I love you too.
You do look beautiful today.
And my
I
strawberry
want you to
shirt.
know that I enjoyed making kids with you and raising kids and just all the things, all the things on this parenting journey. I love to embarrass you a little bit and pick at you, but thanks for being here. As always, man, if you're a parent listening today, the last thing I would say is this: give yourself grace.
Yes.
You are learning. You will make mistakes. Kids are resilient. God designed them that way because we're learning and growing. But let's also get better and grow together.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for being a part. We'll see you next time on the One More Thought podcast.